I've been studying vaccines for close to 17 years. I'm not really here to speak against or for vaccines. I am for the legislation. What I'm here to speak about is for science. And I think in all of this discussion, what I'm hearing is an attempt to get you legislators to pay attention to science. And I'm advising you and asking you to look at the science and not at the rhetoric. You have a very difficult task, which I empathize with, which is you have to try to make sense of the very august and respected institutions represented by pediatrics, the Department of Health, which are advising you that these medical interventions are safe and effective. Unfortunately, if you look at the science, you will not find the evidence to support those conclusions. Please look at the evidence. The days of Marcus Welby are over. We cannot just listen and take what our doctors say with blind faith anymore. And please don't do that. Don't listen to what you hear in this room today, except that it might inspire you to learn on your own what the truth is about vaccines. Part of the truth that you will learn is that much of the outcomes have not been researched. We do not know the long-term effects of vaccination because they have not been researched. Why not? I think you can guess why not. How interested are the vaccine companies in finding out the answers to those questions? What independent research will be funded that will answer those questions? There has been some research done which indicates that those cohorts of children who have been fully vaccinated have a higher incidence of chronic illness than those cohorts that do not. This does not diminish the value of the vaccine in reducing the incidence of infectious disease. However, we are reducing the incidence of infectious disease with one stroke and increasing the incidence of chronic illness on the other. This is science. I'm not making this up. Okay? So when I was in medical school, I was taught, don't talk about the bad side effects. You're going to scare the patient. If that's what you want your doctors to do, you should believe the doctors in the room who have told you there are no serious side effects.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, I just have a quick question. You said you're into the science aspect of the medical practice. Are you an MD or are you a scientist? Or
I'm an MD.
You're an MD?
Yes.
And you specialize in the science of the medicine? Is that what it is?
Well, I would like to think all of us doctors go to the science, advise people based on science. In our medical training, we actually do not get training on the science of vaccination. That is not part of medical training.
Oh, okay.
And those people who say, and there have been people who said this, you should trust the doctors, they have the training. They have not received training in vaccination. That is not done in medical school or residency. And I would ask you to find a pediatrician who says they've been well educated in the science of vaccines. They aren't.
Would assume that our Department of Health, there are certain vaccinations that, that we want our children to have that would be required.
I ask people to investigate each and every vaccine on its own merits. My own pediatrician, for my own children, he has allowed my children not to be vaccinated above and beyond what my wife and asked, but he says that he assumes that the CDC and the health department would not be recommending these vaccines if they were not safe and effective. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, if you look at the evidence, you will find that assumption to be unwarranted. Do the research. You will find the evidence does not support that assumption. It's nice in Marcus Welby world to believe that it is warranted. It is not warranted. The CDC has been shown to be extremely corrupt, and much of the research was done researchers were paid to find certain outcomes that the CDC wanted, and when the outcomes weren't obtained, they suppressed that data. It's really outrageous how far we've come from science with this. Follow the science. Don't believe what I'm saying or anybody else. Follow the science.
Thank you, Doctor.
Any other questions of the committee? Thank you.